I didn't realize this while researching it and writing it all down. This story will 100% trigger one of your fears specifically. Close your eyes and imagine that your name is John Doyle.
John
It
Doyle.
is 1993. You are
John.
from Colorado in the USA. You are on like a summer holiday into the coast of West Africa. You are surfing off the coast of West Africa. You are just sitting out in the ocean. When you look back at the shore, like you're far out in the ocean. When you look back at the shore, there is no sign of any civilization at all. The only sign of people existing is you can see your car on the beach. There's no other sign that people exist, right? That's how far away from civilization you are. So you're sitting out there on the board, waiting for a wave to come in. You've been there for a while. It's hot. It's like above 30 degrees. So you've decided that the next wave that you catch in will be your last one. So you're just sitting there, you're waiting for a wave. You're sitting on your board, you're waiting for the next wave. While you're looking out further into the ocean, you see something that fucking no one wants to see in this situation. You see the fin of a shark.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty far out, slowly circling you. But you are far enough out to the ocean that you know that if you jump in the water, the only thing you're going to do is attract the shark. You won't be able to swim back to shore with enough time to make it to shore without the shark coming to fucking eat you. So your only choice is to just sit on the board and continue waiting while there is a shark there with you. You can chime in with like any reactions at any point.
No.
Too, by the
No.
way. Huh?
You've made it too scary.
See what I mean by it'll trigger one of your fears? You're out in open ocean.
I hate water.
I know that's why I said it.
Horrible. Did me dirty.
This was not intentional. Like I realized this while drinking my coffee this morning.
I hate water so much.
Also, I don't
It's
think I've
nice to look at.
yeah, it's
Nice to look at.
nice to look at, but not nice to be in. I also
But yeah,
didn't
in a boat.
I didn't realize like I don't think I've ever spoken this much in like ages. I keep running out of breath. All right, so you finally see a wave coming. It's a small one, so like you're not quite sure if you're going to be able to make it. But you start to surf this wave, and just as you're about to stand up on the wave, you look down into the water, and the shark is
Yeah.
below you.
Oh.
Right?
Oof.
Just as you're about to like stand up and go, you're like the sudden burst of adrenaline makes you stand up onto the board a bit too quick, and that causes the front of the surfboard to dip into the water just enough to catapult you off the surfboard into the water, right? So you're now in the water with the shark being thrown around by the wave, and you manage to grab hold of the surfboard. But just as you do that, you start to feel this basically feels like D&D. Like the way that I'm saying this basically feels like D&D.
It does. You could just. Yeah.
Yeah. So just as you grab the board, you feel this sharp stabbing pain in your right leg, but your eyes are closed. You're grabbing onto the board. You're underwater in open ocean. You decide to open your eyes, even though you're underwater. You can't see very well. You look down to your leg and you see this big shape. You got like you're underwater, so you know what opening your eyes underwater looks like. You can't see shit, but you can
Yeah.
see this big mass attached to your leg.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop saying it's you because it's not you. This happened to an actual person.
Yeah.
His name is John. Like I keep so
Yeah. John, Colorado.
John
Or he's from
Doyle from
John
Colorado.
Doyle from Colorado.
Yeah, so this, and then like a stroke of panic and adrenaline and whatever the fuck else, this guy John just decides the only thing he can do is punch the shark in the face. So
Yeah.
he punches the shark in the face, and luckily from the shock, the shark actually let go and sort of swam away a little bit. Didn't leave, just swam away a bit. And this gave John enough time to get back up on the board, even though he's probably in excruciating pain, bleeding everywhere. He stood back up on the board and managed to surf a bit more. However, the shark managed to circle back around and was now next to him and charged the surfboard, knocking him
Is this
off. Huh?
what type of shark are we talking here? Is this a white pointer? Is
Well,
this like a shark?
in the story that I've seen, like in the things that I could find, it said that he determined it was a great white shark,
Yeah.
but
Pointer?
yeah, but I don't. I don't see how he would have come to that conclusion because I think the only time he actually saw the shark. Oh, I guess he would have seen it when he looked down when he's standing on the surfboard. So I guess yeah, he would have because when I was writing it, I didn't see like I couldn't figure out how he identified the shark because the only time that I could think of that he saw the shark was when he opened his eyes underwater, and I'd imagine it's pretty hard to identify a shark underwater without goggles on. I guess the size maybe. But yeah, he determined that it was a great white shark, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, this great white circled around him, charged the board, knocking him off again. But as he went down, he managed to grab the board with both hands and sort of brought it in closer to his chest. So that he's like not quite hugging the board, but just holding it close to him. And then the shark charged at him again while he's underwater, being turned around, holding the board against his chest. But he turned in a way that put the board between him and the shark, so that when the shark came back to bite him, it bit the board. But it didn't bite him. It bit the board in half and swam off with the board like the half of the board that it just bit off and started like eating the board. So now with the shark swimming off with the half of the board, you could like don't feel like you have to be quiet the whole time.
No. I'm just.
I know you're probably
I-
terrified, but like
I'm thinking.
don't feel like you have to be terrified. If anything, I like. I feel like I should be cautious saying this to you specifically, but if anything comes into your brain, just say it.
No, I've got some questions. Like, what John Doyle from South Park, Colorado, like a snowboy doing in West Africa? Just started.
It's holiday. Like
No,
because he's from Colorado. At this time, he's used to like snow and shit. He probably doesn't want to see like it's probably over snow. They've just gone off for like a summer holiday, and he likes surfing. I think Colorado.
John Doe kept his white ass on the slopes.
Yeah, I don't think you can say that. Okay, Colorado is fucking dead center in America. Like it's not coastal at all.
Isn't it like high in the mountains, like cold?
Yeah, well, yeah. That's what he's used to seeing. So he probably just wanted to see something else. Yeah, so he probably just wanted like a change of scenery. Went surfing and got attacked by a shark. It happens to lots of people. Just terrifying, but yeah, it happens.
No.
Um,
It's where you, mate. You put your trust in the open water sea.
yeah. Look, I wouldn't do it. I don't go swimming at like local beaches.
I still freak out jumping out into like a lake that a shark's gonna get me.
Bro, I struggle going waist deep. I fucking
I
hate
can't
that
even.
shit.
I literally I'm scared to even get into the rivers. Like even just New South Wales where you are, I'm like nah.
Oh no! Don't go in the rivers here. There's fucking like bull sharks and shit.
Yeah, we have them down here too.
Yeah, fuck that. Anyway, so the shark is distracted. It's off munching on his surfboard. He manages to get back onto his now half a surfboard and sort of ride it in like a boogie board. I don't know what the like American equivalent to one of those is. Like a bodyboard kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, bodyboard sort of.
Is that what they would call it?
Yeah, something like.
So yeah, he manages to ride that in and thankfully gets back to shore. So he's back on the beach. He's on the sand. He's laying down, probably in fucking excruciating pain, blood everywhere. But you got to think that there's probably some level of like
Adrenaline,
adrenaline and relief that he is now out of the water.
Yeah,
like back on land, and despite the like leg injury and stuff, safe-ish.
Don't get. Does
Don't,
the shark?
don't get. Well, he's on land. The shark physically cannot get him unless it beaches itself.
Yeah, but it has his keys. You're gonna tell me?
You go surfing with your keys. I don't even think.
Nah.
I don't even think like bodysuits and or whatever the fuck they're called have like
Probably
pockets or anything.
It's not shifty shark.
That shark stole my keys. But yeah, he's laying on the beach. There's got to be some level of relief that he's out of the water and safe given the circumstances. But you just got to remember that what I said at the start, or what I emphasized at the start, the only sign of civilization to where he is his car. There is no one here. The nearest town to him is over an hour away. He has to get in his car after a shark bite and drive himself to the nearest town, which doesn't have a hospital, right? So he has to...
What's his injuries looking like at this point?
He's just been bitten on the leg by a shark.
Yeah, but a bite is a very generic thing. You can be
I
bitten by a
mean, okay.
mosquito. Like, what does this bite look like?
I mean, any bite from a shark is not good.
Yeah, but like, can we narrow it down from like, are we in the realm of stitches? Is there like
Yes, there are
a limb?
yes, there are stitches involved. I'll give
How
you that
many
much.
stitches do you reckon
I
we're?
know exactly how many stitches, but
Is it is it
that
is it
so
is it
this
huge?
isn't his leg specifically. This is just a shark bite leg.
Okay, yeah, right.
So like
So we're talking like
it's pretty fucking bad.
mhm.
But I would also imagine looking at like the circle edge of those teeth marks. That looks like a relatively small-ish, like small to medium-sized shark. This is a great white,
Okay.
so probably a bit worse than that. But even that is still pretty bad to be an hour away.
Just for context, you know, like I had to put my feet up on the lounge like during Jaws.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, you knew this.
Yeah. Then,
I remember just falling
oh,
asleep
yeah.
to like
I'm trying to get that out.
with
You
like
fell.
blockbuster DVDs and like you just or like you'd wake up to 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning to just the main menu, just like dun dun
Yeah, but like
dun, and you're like, oh,
remember you fell asleep and then came and sat on your legs.
oh, that literally 100% I forgot about that dream. That
Oh,
scene where he slid down from the boat into the jaws and then just as like lovingly pops along and just sits down on my legs to give me a cuddle and I just scream, you poor
yep. That's so funny.
terrified the shit out of me. Oh.
Uh,
No, I honestly couldn't think of anything worse. I feel
that
so
was
helpless him.
that was so good. Um. Anyway, so he decides he has no option. He has to get in his car and he has to drive. He gets in his car. He's got his keys. Don't worry about it. He starts the
Okay.
car and starts to look around for like an item of clothing or whatever to try and tie
Yeah.
around his leg to try and stop the bleeding.
Yeah, of
However, no
course.
matter how many, like he cut them up into strips to so he could use more or whatever. However, no matter how many of those strips that he cut he used, or no matter how tight he tied them, it didn't stop the bleeding. That's
Oh,
how
we both
that's
together
how
there.
deep the wound was,
Oh, he's
right?
running, wasting good time.
So he does whatever he can. Bleeding's still going. He starts driving because he's got no choice, right? And after a little while of driving, he's starting to feel lightheaded, dizzy, and really dehydrated. And he starts to think, if I don't get any water, then he's gonna pass out, and he's gonna like that's it. He's gonna die if he passes out. So he starts looking
Yeah.
around his car, and he can't find anything in his car. Like I think he finds like an empty water bottle. That's it. But he keeps driving, and after a little bit like a little bit longer of driving and looking around, all he sees is just open African savanna.
It's one thing, no, it's one thing to escape Colorado snow. It's another thing to go to the remote butt fuck nowhere
Yeah,
and going
it is pretty weird that he's just
and
gone to the
decide
middle of
to go
buttfuck nowhere.
surfing off the coast there. Like, you know we're near a hospital, you know we're near like look, can we just say again, I had credibility when I said, "What is he doing on the other side of the world?"
Oh
He could
fuck,
go to California.
absolutely.
There are so many other places he could have flown to Hawaii. He had so many like just as but you know what? There's a closer hospital.
So he keeps driving, and after a little while, he does manage to see a sort of a clump of trees with a little stream running through them. So he stops the car. He's like saying he's fucked at this point is an understatement. This guy is barely conscious. He gets up to the little stream, lays down next to it, and the only thing he has the energy to do is just put his face in the water and just
Hmm.
start drinking. He can't scoop his hands or anything. He's just puts his face in the water, right?
Yeah.
And as he's starting to drink, he feels this new new pain, completely different to his leg. This new pain in his upper right torso, right? So sort of chest, like upper right rib cage area, right? This new pain that has nothing to do with his leg, and sort of out of shock and curiosity and whatever, he turns and looks down as to see like what this pain is. And when he does, what he sees then is a
What?
fucking lion.
Oh, now he's getting mauled by a lion.
He's getting eaten by a fucking lion.
No, you're lying.
No, a lion.
You're lying.
So all he like the only like he's in shock at this point. The only thing he can do is look around. He finds a stick that he uses to pick up and beat the shit out of this lion that is just attached to his ribs.
Yeah.
The lion manages to let go and backs up like a couple meters. They're sort of like
This just
in shock.
you just seem like you're describing like a full what is it, a Far Cry game to me. Like
Well, I'm pretty sure one
it's
of the
just
Far
sounds like
Cries
Far
was
Cry
in Africa.
2.
I think Far
I
Cry
think
2
it's
was in
Far Cry.
Africa.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he smacks this lion, it backs off, and it just sort of stands there. It is also in shock because its dinner just smacked him, and it just starts growling at him. And he's had a drink now, so he's got a little bit more energy, but he's still pretty fucked. So he's like slowly stands up, and this lion is still just standing there growling at him. And
Like a
then like,
little putty cat.
oh,
Like a little angry putty cat.
well, I mean, yeah, but except times 10.
Yeah, I've been flipping.
Like it's still a putty cat, but it's a fucking lion.
It's a putty cat.
It's so cute. So
Why is it so much
the only thing that he can do at this point, like he knows he's got to get to his car. If he doesn't get in his
again
car,
with
he's
the
dead.
car? Stop leaving your car, John.
He needed a drink. They could have taken the drink bottle and gone and yeah, whatever.
Again, it comes back to Bandit, everything. It's just this is what wasted time is, and he could have been at this ultimate one. He honestly could have been there having fluids and everything, but no, he just had to fuck around.
Also, I guess who goes out into the middle of nowhere with no water?
Who is this guy? Sounds like he just did it to sell a story.
We'll touch on that later. So yeah, there's this lion in front of him that is just growling at him, and he's like, the lion is standing between him and the car, but it's sort of off to the side a little bit. So there's enough, like he can still walk past the lion without getting too close to it. But he's
Okay.
still got that shark injury. He can't run. He can only walk. So he has to like slowly walk past this lion while it's still growling at him and start slowly walking towards him.
You should just whack it again.
Well, I mean, I imagine he's still got the stick.
I mean,
if
like,
it
what have you
does,
got
then yeah.
to like? What have you really got to lose? You want to spend your last moments like going out? Like, you've just punched a shark, you've whacked a thing. Like, you're gonna like lay down and do that? No, no, you're just gonna keep doing you, which is probably going to involve another smack.
Well, yeah, that's probably why he would have kept the stick. He probably still has the stick ready to smack the thing again, but now the lion is prepared for it because he's already done it once, right? So
Yeah.
he gets to the car, or he gets close to the car, while the lion is still slowly inching closer and closer to him, growling at him. But as he gets closer to the car, he hears behind him that growling got louder.
So there's like someone in the car.
No, there's no one in the car. He's by himself, right? So behind him, as he's getting closer to the car, the growling gets louder.
So it's charging him or something.
No, he turns around. There is now 4 more lions,
Okay.
and
'Cause they do
those lions, like it is a pride of lions at this point.
Yeah.
Those lions are all getting closer to him, all growling at him. He's not quite at his car yet, and he still can't run because I'm assuming his leg is barely attached. So he starts walking because he doesn't have a choice, closer to this car, but the lions are getting closer and closer and closer to him. So
Yeah.
close that to the point they can reach him, and they start clawing at him because they're curious at this point, because you got to think that this is out in the middle of the African savannah. Like, these lions have probably never seen a human this close. So they're probably cautious and a bit curious. That's why they're swiping at him and not outright attacking him. But this guy is slowly walking towards his car as lions are scratching the shit out of his back.
Yeah.
He manages to get into the car just as one of them like jumps at him. But like, I'd imagine it'd be like one of those movies where like they shut the door and it hits the window.
Oh god.
However,
It opens the window.
it grows a thumb and opens the door. No. He gets in the car and he goes to start the car, except you called it earlier. He doesn't have his keys.
Oh no.
He looks out his window, and sitting on the floor amongst all these lions is his car keys.
Like, at what point does John just like accept the natural order of things that he's had a lot of ample decisions in his
I'd imagine at this point, because like there is no way out. The only way that he can get out of here is if he gets out of the car, goes up to the lions, and takes his keys. Motherfucker's not going anywhere. Motherfucker, like he probably would have resigned himself to dying then. Like
Yeah,
he'd be sitting back thinking of his family or whatever, just
I
waiting
do.
to die. Could you imagine waiting to die?
Yeah, no, I do it every day.
Well, that's what this motherfucker's doing.
100%. Yeah, no, I definitely can relate to this guy. I would not open those keys, and I think I've done enough in my day for them to know. I don't know. It's sad. Actually, no. Would you have to fight? Because this thought would occur to me that what if no one knows that I just punched a shark today? Like, and
Or smacked a lion with a stick.
yeah, they just settled with I got mauled by lions. Like, no, I have to live.
I have to tell people this shit.
Even yeah, 1993. There was no dash cam.
No,
This
this
is
is this is
there's
100%.
no one to
100%.
collaborate his story other than the lion that got smacked
Other
or
than
the
just,
shark
well,
that got
yeah.
punched.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, he's sitting in his car, bleeding out, waiting to die. And then after about, I think it was like half an hour, he's barely conscious at this point, and he starts to hear this like weird noise that he
Like
can't quite place. And you know, like you start if you're like at this point of near death, if you start hearing things like that, you kind of would start thinking that okay, I'm probably just hearing shit. But he knows that he's not just hearing shit because he looks out the window, the lions are still there, and he knows that they can hear the noise too because they start to get all freaked out. And the noise gets
that's
closer to them. And as it gets closer, the noise causes the lions to run.
oh god, it's a stampede. No, it's a car.
Well, like
It's an
what
elephant.
like you got to like what would be going through his head at this point?
It's a rhino.
Well,
No,
probably
it's a
well,
at this point I feel like it's a transformer.
the fucking Optimus Prime. um, but like, what would five lions be afraid of? Like, there's got to be some level of fear, right? But
Oh god, not a hippopotamus.
hippopotamus.
The hippopotamus?
But before he can figure out what this sound is, or before he can see what's making the sound, he passes out, right? So he has no recollection from this point on. He wakes up in the hospital and he starts talking to the doctors, and they tell him that he got over 250 stitches.
Yeah, but which one? Where does it end with that? Doesn't answer my shark original leg question because
What do
now
you mean?
there's more. Now there's more stitches, so it doesn't give me
Well,
any
yeah.
information
Well,
on how big the shark bite was.
yeah. I like.
Where does the shark bite start, and where does it like end, and where does the
Well,
lion
where
bite?
does his legs start and end?
Nah,
Um,
more like where does the shark bite end, and where does the lion's bite begin? But yeah, there's 250. Did you say?
yeah, over 250.
Shit.
So like, he gets told that he had 250 or over 250 stitches,
Yeah.
and he asks the doctors what happened. It turns out that that noise that he started to hear was a safari tour that just happened to be going past at this point,
Yeah.
which is high. Like, this is the fucking luckiest man ever, or is he the
Wait,
unluckiest?
wait, dial it back. So that is what just the answer to your hint. What is five lions most scared of is a truckload of tourists.
Yeah,
Is that
basically.
your answer?
Well, yes and no. But the tour guide had a gun, so he started shooting
Yeah,
his gun at the lions. Didn't try to hit any of them. He was
yeah,
just
yeah.
shooting sort of in the area to try and scare them off. But at the same time, the tourists started taking pictures, not to like, oh my god, someone's getting eaten, let's take photos, as more of a let's take photos so our cameras make noise to scare them off kind of deal.
All right.
So that weird noise that he was hearing was a mixture of gunshots and cameras.
So he's hearing the flashes of
Yeah,
like
the shutter flash
the
of the
old
camera.
flashes of like yeah the old like the
Yeah,
Dixon cameras we had as kids.
yeah.
Oh
So
yeah, wow.
so he's scared. The tour guide, the tourists, and all them have scared off the lions, and they managed to pull him out of his car and get him to hospital. He survived. He still had like he kept the other half of the surfboard that he still like the part that the shark didn't run off with, and he like mounted it on his wall.
No, he should have taken a shark tooth.
Well, yeah, sharks
So
do leave a lot of teeth when they bite things. Um,
you should just claim some other shark tooth like he found and be like, yeah, that was the shark.
it was this one.
I would just that's exactly what my dad would have done. And he would have been like, yeah, there's the tooth of the shark. I punched something.
Knocked his fucking teeth out.
What like you can never, never let the truth get in the way of a good story, John.
Yeah, so that's the story of John Doyle.
Wow, John Doe, God.
Doyle. John Doe
Doyle.
is the name of a dead person that doesn't have a name.
Yeah, that's
His
what
name's
I.
John Doyle. He almost was, but he
So
wasn't.
John Doyle almost become John Doe. Imagine if they were trying to identify him and they're like, after all these years, we finally announced the identifier of John Doe. His name was John Doyle.
Well, they probably would have been able to identify because he would have had like wallet or something in the car, or like the car would have been like registered in his name.
I mean, if I found him and he was dead, I would have robbed his ass. He ain't gonna spend that money.
I feel like you can't say that. um, so while doing a little bit of extra research into this, there is a
Yeah,
lot of people that claim this is fake
right.
because there isn't a lot of information on it.
Mhm.
So, like, where I got it
Like,
from is I would consider this guy like fairly credible because he does a lot of research.
yeah,
But just like stepping back and taking a look at the story at face value, it
yeah.
does sound like an over embellished story. Like it does. There is a lot here that is
Mate,
like,
like, as I said, don't come taken from a true Aussie. Say it again. Don't ever let the truth get away. A good story. It's a good story.
exactly right. So like,
That's what I liked it.
not to say that he didn't get bitten by a shark or he didn't get half eaten by a lion, but like maybe the other pride, like the rest of the pride, didn't turn up and it was just one lion instead of just being like, I escaped 5 lions.
No good. No, no. Give a shout out to the creator that brought us that story. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Because I thought we were gonna remain in the ocean the whole time, and I just
but
couldn't do
like
that.
the funny thing about that story is like halfway through it, you forget about the shark.
Oh yeah, like it had everything. It had the ocean. It had the desert.
Like you just like
Had
as
lines.
soon as the
Like it was just
lion turns up, you're like, wait, there was a shark involved.
the only thing I was like missing was like Nemo and like Timon and Pumbaa. Like, and then it would have just been a complete production. Disney.
Mid getting eaten by lion, he just gets up and starts singing. Birds start coming down. Fuck is a Disney princess.
Oh, I can't wait to wake up in hospital.
So the dancing and the singing was just the like the
Oh,
morphine.
I can't wait for this to be over.
Yeah, but it would have been like a side effect of the morphine.
That's it. Oh God, poor John.
Yeah.
Oh, no, good story.